Hi, hello everybody. I'm Ava at NFSC MFest 2023 from Phoenix, and I just met a Canadian, my fellow countryman, but you're a dual citizen, Michael, right? So you are a content creator.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me a little bit about your mission and how you're going to help waken up the Canadians and Americans to the threat that the CCP is posing.
So you know what, you taught me a lot just in our small conversation about how the CCP is really behind so many things that we don't even realize. Anytime there's censorship on Twitter or YouTube and whatnot, they have a lot more power than we think, or that we realize. We think it's the FBI, the CIA. Finding out how deep the CCP tentacles are is really wild. And I'm going to follow you guys a lot more to find out about it. I told you that I discovered Miles Guo years ago.
Yes.
Listening to Steve Bannon on the pandemic war room and Kyle Bass, as I said. But so what we're trying to do is actually build a community of content creators that can work together and collaborate on different projects. Our focus is really just making short documentary style videos to get information out, because the best way to fight back against something is to understand it, is to know about it, to have the knowledge to work against it. So to see what you guys are doing is incredible. Honestly, the resistance in China, from what I understand, is something that is definitely suppressed, obviously, for people in China.
That's correct, yes.
You can't even get on these Western apps, like Twitter and whatnot.
Great firewall.
Right, there's the firewall, and you have to use a VPN. You just told me that if you use a VPN in China, they catch you, you get imprisoned. It's
basically illegal to use the VPN, okay?
That's wild.
The people who is actually using the VPN to overcome the Great Firewall is putting themselves in harm's way, because if they get caught, and they will be sent into jail, and this is real. And we wanted to help people to understand. That's why we're talking about this issue here. Yeah. So
the other aspect is that the economy is on its last leg. It's a house of cards. It's going to fall. The CCP is holding itself up militarily. Is that right?
Yes.
And with their, I guess, blackmailing of other politicians around the world. But it's at a place where I mentioned to you quickly that it's a 1776 feeling, where
absolutely
it's the last straw. You told me that 200 million people in China are unemployed.
Yes.
That's the
whole. And 7 and 8 million companies went bankrupt in the last year. Okay.
It's baffling.
Yes. So the economy is definitely tanking in China. So we think this is the eve. You know, it feels like this is the eve before the Berlin Wall fall.
Yeah.
So when you ask me, are you sure you're going to win, right? How did you ask me the question? You said, do you think you're really going to...
How optimistic are you of it actually being an uprising?
Yeah, and how optimism we are be able to taking down the CCP.
Exactly.
And the answer that I gave you is we absolutely going to bring the victory. There's no doubt about it. Good will always prevail. But the thing is, I want to help people to understand we're fighting to prevent the evil Chinese Communist Party taking more people away on their way out. Okay, so how many people has to die?
Be on their way out. It's inevitable they're out.
It's inevitable. Evil is going to be wiped out. It's just the sooner you wake up, the sooner there will be less people die and follow the CCP to the graves.
Yes,
that's how we say it.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's why I think with your talents, with your ability to create content to help people realize what's at stake. I think that's so crucial.
Yeah, I think that we're going to focus a lot more on this, and to be able to have conversations with you guys is going to be crucial, because to get your firsthand experience of how your families are persecuted when you speak out against the CCP here, that is, I mean, hopefully there's nothing resembling Maoist China and the deaths involved there. Nothing even close, because that was insanity, right? But there is going to be a period of uncertainty, of struggle, of unbalance that it's going to be hard to know. Even in America, we're feeling the same thing. It's very similar here. We're in a 1776 moment where if they steal another election, the gloves have to come off at some point, right?
That's right.
So
So they have to fight like 1776 again, or they will live like 1984.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I'm so glad that we had this conversation, and I wanted to see you use more of your talents to help your fellow countrymen to wake up to the
Thank
CCP.
You too. Likewise.
And one more before you leave, I wanted to say a few words to the people, to the Chinese people who are so quest and thirst for freedom and hang on to the hope that one day they will bring down the CCP. What would you say to them?
It's easy to be afraid, especially against a government that is so authoritarian, totalitarian, that watches your every move. But at the end of the day, fear does nothing but destroys you on the inside. So talk to the people you love, do what you can to communicate and be part of the fight, because the fight's coming. The fight's coming. So
thank you. God bless you.
Thank
you, Michael.